I tell you, is this in how the revision going? So if you look on the channel, you'll see that I did a bunch of multiple choice revision recently. Let me just make sure I do this. I have to put the number for the student hub for those interested in lessons. Here it is. Um, for those of you all interested in classes, this is the number for the student hub. You WhatsApp this number to join. Those of you all signing up for Keep or anything. Keep Unit 1 classes will start in September because you'll have to get your results. That's how it works. So you get your results and then we start the classes in September when you decide what it is you're doing for Keep. The Keep Unit 2 that starts earlier. If anybody here in Keep Unit 1, that starts earlier. The Keep Unit 2 classes in the student hub that starts in August. So hello people. Hi Birmingham. Hi Summer. Hi Zia. We're gonna run through some physics multiple choice. You know the aim. We try to aim for like three full papers. That'll be three groups of 60 this time, but you know now it's how the energy, how the vibe going. Hi Emmanuel, hi Macasey. So let's see what's happening here. Um an object is removed from ground and placed on a shelf. Which of the object's property is expected to increase potential energy? So you can start putting all the answers one time. This is physics. This is not AdMaths. I was doing AdMaths yesterday. So more people are doing physics than AdMaths. So I expect to see a higher number of students here, as well as physics is way easier in the multiple choices. Quick stuff, right? It's just, do you know it for a lot of them? So a student sets up a simple pendulum and finds that the period is 1.7 seconds. To obtain a period nearer to 1 second, he should, well, increasing the mass doesn't change the period. If he wants it to go faster, he should shorten the pendulum. If he wants it to go longer, he should lengthen. So the answer is C. Please know that they're going to ask you something on some pendulum. To how many significant figures is the quantity expressed? 1, 2, 3, 4 significant figures are used here. So the answer is D. So far, D, C, D. These are recent samples that I'm doing. Very recent. Three immiscible liquids, P, Q, and R, have densities which differ. Q is denser than P, but less dense than R. So looking for this. PQR is the answer. So you see, physics is fast things with physics. P, Q is denser than P, but less dense than R. So A is the answer there. Each of the following quantities has the same value as 6 microcoulombs. Micro means 10 to the power of negative 6. So we're looking at A as the answer here as well. When standing on the moon, the mass of an astronaut is 70 kilograms. When he returns to Earth, his approximate mass, well, his mass will remain the same, but his approximate weight, will be 700 newtons. You multiply by 10, right? So you get 700 newtons. Linear momentum is, so momentum is a product of mass and velocity. So mass and velocity. Yeah, look, they have it here. Product of mass and velocity. B is the answer. Mass by mv, right? Momentum is mv. To measure the external diameter of a measuring cylinder most accurately, one would use a pair of vernier calipers. So the calipers can measure external and internal diameters. The acceleration due to the gravity G is to be determined by measuring the time T taken for a small steel ball to fall through a specific height. Which are the following activities is unnecessary. You don't need to get the mass of the ball, as strange as it is. Especially when it's steel, it's solid enough that you can neglect air resistance. You don't really need to work out air resistance and things. You need to know the heights, you need to know the time, you need to allow the ball drop, blah, blah, blah. Easy one. It just loaded with repeats. It just repeats, black, white. Left, right, and center. So when two bodies collide, momentum is conserved. This means that the momentum of each body is unchanged, not necessarily. Kinetic energy before impact is equal to that after impact. Not necessarily. Algebraic sum of the velocities before impact is equal to the sum of the velocities after impact. Close. Total momentum of the bodies before impact is equal to. So this is the principle of conservation of momentum. D. 11. Which of the following changes can be caused by a force acting on a body? We can change the motion, we can change the shape. We're not necessarily changing the density of the body. The best answer is C. Although in some control settings, you could squeeze in the body and affect the body's density, overall density, because they change the volume now. But they just say A force, and the best answer is C. You don't need to get too technical. Which shows two vectors, A, right, OA, OB, right. Vectors act at point O and are directed perpendicular to it. Which of the following pairs represent both the magnitude and direction? All right, so it's in the direction OC. And the magnitude, well, it will be the square root. This is A squared, this is B squared. I have it back to front. Them whack people put B here. So this is B squared, this is A squared. So you want the square root of A squared plus B squared to get the magnitude in the direction OC. So D, again, a lot of D's, boy. Which of the following features must be present in a stable, well-designed racing car? You want a low center of gravity. That's correct. Narrow wheelbase. No, you don't want it. Them cars has had the wheels quite there. You want the wheels spread out. Long front, that don't need to be there. The long front is as a result of a powerful engine. Sunroof, well, you definitely don't need no sunroof, bro. Which of the following sources? What kind of hilarious thing is this? Which of the following sources of energy are classified as renewable? All of these are classified as renewable. Solar energy, wind energy, geothermal. A bubble of gas, somebody like you mash up this paper already. A bubble of gas rises to the surface of a soft drink. This is because the density of the gas is greater. No. The upthrust on the bubble is greater than the weight of the bubble. This is true. So let me check back. Upthrust on the bubble is greater than the weight of water it displaces. Huh. Upthrust is always equal to the weight of water it displaces. This does not happen. Weight of the water displaced by the bubble is less than the weight of the bubble. Not just getting too convoluted. That making me think too much. B is the answer. The pressure on the dam at the bottom of the reservoir depends on the depth of the water, length, volume, mass of the water held back by the dam, volume. It just depends on the depth. This question is basically testing you to see if you know that pressure increases with depth, right? Which of the moment of a force? So moment is a product of force, the normal force by the perpendicular distance to the pivot. So Newton meter. Newton meter is the answer for this one. 17 is actually B, guys. Yes. Nice. Well done, Dejani and Somali. Zia Zara. When heating a substance, a point is reached where no further change in temperature is observed. This most likely reason for this substance is losing heat to the atmosphere. Substance needs to be stirred. Heat is supplying less heat. Substance is changing state. So this is where we get this latent heat of vaporization, latent heat of freezing, of melting, from. So heat is being supplied to break bonds and to change state, whatever. Which scientist was responsible for arriving at the conclusion that measured amounts of electrical and mechanical energy can be converted to proportionate amounts of heat energy? So this one had a little fight up between Joule and Rumford. But one is to do with the cannonball. So this one have a little fight up. Let me just double check. One did a little cannonball something. Let's see. My sidekick here. See. Yeah, they're saying is Joule. What did Rumford do? Let me just get Rumford. What did Rumford do? What good old Rummy do, boy? Oh, God. Yeah, he do the thing with the cannons, but he didn't go to the electrical part. He didn't go to the electrical part. So Jules is the man. Jules is the man. Jules is the man. So Rummy was the cannon and thing, but the electrical part here throw Rummy off. You feel he not getting paid? You feel my brethren ain't getting paid? He getting paid. I do have a free version. Which of the following temperature ranges is most suitable for a clinical thermometer? So you are clinical, so you don't really need nobody to measure nobody at 0 degrees, -10 degrees. If the temperature at a dead long time, you don't need to measure nobody at 100 degrees. It's gotta be all here so go up. And if you're getting temperatures outside of that range, well, you have to call the family members and tell them what's going on. According to the pressure law, which of the following statements is true? So in the pressure law, pressure is not constant. So get that out. And so B could be true. The ratio of volume to pressure is constant. The ratio of volume to temperature is constant. All right. Let me go through all the laws again. Go through all these laws. I was doing advanced recently, so that's why I seen that. So you have Boyle's law, you have Charles' law, yeah, you have the pressure law. So in Boyle's law, who is constant? Temperature is constant. In the pressure law, pressure is not constant. So pressure is constant here. So in the pressure law, volume is constant. Boyle's law is the only one with this inversely proportional relationship. So pressure is inversely proportional to volume. In and Charles' law, pressure is constant, so volume is proportional to temperature, and in this one, pressure is proportional to temperature, directly proportional. So the pressure law of volume is constant. So volume is constant. The ratio of volume to pressure is constant. Volume to no, because pressure is constant. The ratio of volume to temperature, no, it's pressure to temperature, not volume to, because volume is constant, you understand? So the answer is B. Right? So, but this little thing that I just do here, you all should know all of this so you could kind of work back out anything they ever ask you, right? Which of the, because they guarantee to ask you something I want to remember what's might be this very same question. Somebody asking me questions as repeated physics. Is my name Kerwin Springer? Which are the questions repeat for every multiple choice in 6? Which are the following statements about evaporation is false? Evaporation requires heat energy and causes cooling. During evaporation, the faster molecules escape the liquid. This one looking like the worst so far. Evaporation occurs at room temperature only. This is false. Evaporation occurs at every temperature. Evaporation occurs only at the surface. All right, so all of these go up. This one little sussy sus is really the liquid, the ones at the top. However, C is absolutely wrong though. The heat capacity of a substance is defined as the amount of energy. You don't want to talk about no mass required to change state. No, the substance can hold, needed to raise the temperature of the substance by 1 degree. You don't need to talk about the mass because they just say heat capacity. They never say specific. Which of the following processes most likely accounts for the fact that pot handles are usually made of wood? Conduction, because you're not trying to get burned up. When you're bubbling a pot of broth, the heat from a nearby fire reaches other places mainly by convection, fire through the air, right? So by the fire, and you just take it in a little convection. I mean, radiation will be there, conduction will be there as well, but the main thing is convection. A light bulb is filled with gas. at a temperature 293 Kelvin. Initial pressure of the gas is P. What will the pressure be when the temperature increases to 360 Kelvin? Ah, boy. All right, so the temperature increased by some amount here. And we want to know what if the initial pressure of the gas is P? What will the pressure be when the temperature increases? The pressure will be more. So anyone that have a less can work. I don't know why you have 393 though. So A is the answer. A is the answer. Just by elimination. But of course you could use the little gas laws and thing from that I had from before to work it out. Just put the missing value as T. So which one this is? Who is constant? Temperature is constant. So PV, when the temperature, no, initial pressure, volume is constant. So volume is constant. The pressure law, P over T. So P1 over T1 is equal to P2 over T2 is what you're looking at. Yeah, so and you're basically trying to find T2 given if the initial pressure is P. So you have P is the initial pressure, T1 is 293, and P2 is what we're trying to find, and T2 is 360. P2 is what we're trying to find, so you'll end up with 360 over 293 by P is equal to P2, which is A. All right. I don't know why I waste time doing all of that. So which of the following wave phenomena plays a role in the greenhouse effect? Can be sound wave, water waves, or gamma rays. Like we just go with infrared now, bro. Just you can just eliminate the ridiculous ones. Hey, greenhouse come in the paper too. I'll just see the solutions I do for the paper too. In using why not radiation? Radiation wouldn't be as strong as convection. If you remove the air in the room and it was just a vacuum, you would only get heat that was radiated across the vacuum, and it ain't gonna be as much compared to convection. So the main way you're getting heat from the fireplace is convection. And using this slinky to demonstrate longitudinal waves move from point A to point B, the spring is made to vibrate parallel to AB. Longitudinal, right? You know what the solution? Really? You manage to keep yourself from watching that solution. My curiosity would have been too strong. I'd rather watch that solution. Long time. Which of the following statements is longitudinal, right? So is which of the following statements about waves is true? Longitudinal waves do not undergo refraction, but that's not true. All waves undergo, that's true. Diffraction can only take place on the transverse waves. So B is the answer, right? All waves undergo these things. Which of the following statements about sound is not correct? Sound travels more slowly than light. That's true. Sound does not travel through a vacuum. True. Sound is transmitted as a transverse wave. That's not true. Sound may be produced by vibrating systems. That is also true. So we have displacement versus time. Two sound waves. Wave P, wave Q. So this one is a higher frequency than this one. So this one higher. So the following statements is true. Q is louder than P. That's true because it has a higher amplitude. But P has a higher pitch. Oh gosh, straight out the blocks. This is so the amplitude determines the loudness, the decibel level, and the frequency. But I do that yesterday, boy. You didn't see our one comment channel, boy. You're overkilling it, boy, Mr. Overkill. Which are the following? Yeah, pitch is frequency. Which of the following objects can detect X-rays? Oscilloscopes, thermometers, television aerials, photographic film. I think photographic film is the one here, you know. This one a little new to me. I think it's photographic film. Photographic film. We go in a deal here. Check my boy. Answer is photographic film. All right. I'll just clear in the oscilloscope. I feel like X-rays could interfere with television. You know, television is high wavelength, large wavelengths, larger wavelengths. They wouldn't be able to pick up X-rays. And thermometers, no, thermometers would probably get infrared. All right, so yeah, that's the answer. And well, thermometers is heat, of course. So D is the answer. But photographic films are sensitive to X-rays. In fact, you use a photographic film to take an X-ray, a special type. An object O is viewed in a plane mirror PQ, which of the following diagrams show the formation of I. This actually showing the rays of light going there, so you throw that one. This one showing the images closer, you know, than the object, so throw that one. What is the difference between this and this? Oh, good. This one showing the light coming from the eyes, so this one are laser eyes, but so this one out. Is the answer here. The light need to go so and enter the man's eyes, right? The information given, the frequency is 120 milliseconds. The period is 20 milliseconds. So the period is 20 milliseconds. That's 20 times 10 to the -3. So the frequency is 1/20 times 10 to the -3. That's 50. That's 50. Right? Yeah, see. I don't know why in my mind I'm thinking 500. It's 20 milliseconds. 20. So that is 0.02. 0.02. In my mind, I've seen 0.002. So like I was thinking 500, like the answer. If that 500, yeah, I might get it wrong, boy. Yeah, it's 50. It's 50. 35, the critical angle of glass is 42. Which of the following diagrams correctly show this? And this just not looking right, bro. That's just not looking right. Critical angle is 42. So if you exceed the critical angle, total internal reflection, right? So it come through here. When you slow down, is bend. When you slow down, so when it come and hits the thing and it's slow down, it's bent towards the normal. Yes. So this looking good. 48. So it crossed the total internal. It crossed the critical angle here. So it bent towards the normal. It crossed the critical and you get total internal reflection. B is the answer. B is the answer. Yeah, supposed to be allowed to use calculators, but double check with your examiner. But yeah, generally, I no use for need for calculator here. Only this last part here had a little calculator. See. But you can do that mentally too. Which of the following statements is true of a diverging lens? Like this. It is thinner at the center than at the edges, right? True. It can only form inverted, it can only form enlarged, it can only form real. It's thinner at the center than at the edges. That's a diverging lens. Easy answer. Whenever there's complete destructive interference between two coherent wave trains, the waves must be in phase. No. Out of phase by one wavelength. No, that would be in phase again. Out of phase by half a wavelength. C is the answer. C is the answer. A ray of light leaves the air and enters glass of refractive index 1.5. If the angle of incidence is 37, what is the sign of the angle of refraction? Oh, Lord Father. So sine I over sine R is equal to 1.5. So what is the sine of? So is sine R is going to be sine I, which is 37 over 1.5. D. Ooh, I get this one wrong. I get this one wrong. D is the answer for this one. This one is D. Sine I over sine R is equal to the critical angle. So if I rearrange the answer, what is the sign of the angle of refraction? You get D, right? D is the answer for that one. The amplitude of the wave on the graph above is represented by, so the amplitude here would be represented by T to S. Okay, U to W. U to W is good as well. U to W is good. T R Q P S X is the whole length by crest to trough. And in which material would the light waves have the slowest speed? Diamond. They're asking question like this since this the first exam, the very first exam. Moses and thing get tested with this question, bro. A glass rod is rubbed with a piece of silk and it's positively charged. The glass rod became charged by losing electrons. The protons don't move. All right, we have this circuit here. Which of the following options show the name of the components correctly matched with its number? All right. 2 is a fuse. All right, so this one out. 4 is a resistor. So this one out. 3 is a diode. So this one, D. I'm finding D is real answers here, boy. And for physics exam, when in doubt, choose D. Why it has so many? I find so too. It's disproportionate. Ah, yes, Father. All right, so this is a pendulum here, two light aluminum spheres suspended. If they come to rest as shown in the diagram, the force keeping them apart, they are at rest. So it can be centripetal force, electrostatic, and it's magnetic. Magnetic. I go whoop, 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 whoop. This is a tough one, boy. It's not gravitational. Could it be electrostatic? Two light aluminum spheres, and I charge up this with with if both of them negatively charged, stay away now. You know what? I might go with electrostatic. What up, oh boy? Let's see what my brethren think. Because electrostatic could definitely work. Like if this had a negative charge and this had a negative charge, they will stay away from each other. And it's spheres, so it's kind of hard for spheres that are magnets to be to achieve this. Is C. C is the best answer there. I will go with C. Forget our magnetic talk. C. What is centripetal? Centripetal force is like if I was here, me here, and I hold on to this, and I spin in something. And I spin in this sphere around. Like you ever see them short, but people spinning around there. Um, hammer. I think the force that pulling it towards the center is the centripetal force. Which one you following? To answer the question, yes. Which of the following diagrams best represent the magnetic field around the wire? All right. When you say X, you're going into the wire, right? So if you say X, you're going into the wire, you're coming out. You're going in. If you see a point, you're coming out, right? So X is going in, say hit them the right hand grip. So what's going on here? Oh, good. We could just ignore C and D. I was going on to see if C and D making any sense. But let me just ignore C and D. And we'll go with D. D is the correct answer when you hit them the right hand grip, right? So the following combination correctly identifies the current with a greater frequency. Just make sure that the same numbers, same everything, same everything. So current with a greater peak value. Nobody have a greater peak value. So it's neither. Greater frequency is this guy. 1. So B is the answer. Both of them staying at the same peak. Which of the following arrows correctly indicates the direction of the movement of the dust particle when the switch S is closed? It's negatively charged. This side will be positive, this side will be negative. We'll go here. This will be negative. This will be positive. And it's a negatively charged. So big man ain't going to want to go up, he going to go down. So C is the answer. C. He going to go down. He want to go to the negative plate. The best material for the core of an electromagnetic is iron. I mean, you could use wood too. Nothing ain't gonna happen, but it gonna look good, you know. The SI unit of charge is this fella here, Coulomb. We have a simple AC. Nobody. I don't know. Check make IT simple. I don't know. Parts label X known as what is the part label X? It's not coils. This is a generator. So these are just slip rings. This is C. Slip rings. Is that AC generator. So you don't need no commutator or nothing. This is just slip rings. 50. Which of the following sequences of events occur when an excessive current passes through a fuse? Wire gets hot, current is cut off, wire melts. I mean, this just pure common sense they're saying here. Wire gets hot, wire melts, current is cut off. That's the best way. Yeah, B. A device which converts sound into electricity. That one had to be a microphone. Sound into electrical signal. An ideal transformer has ideal mean no loss. 1200 turns and the primary 600. So this is half. It's stepping down. So there's a step down. Voltage across the secondary is 20. It means the voltage across the primary was higher. 40. Right? Step down. And it's stepped down by a half. All right. Which of the following combinations of ammeter characteristics is correct? Resistance of an ammeter is low. And it is connected in series. So C. Which is equivalent resistance of the two resistor? So is 1/2 plus a quarter, and then you need to reciprocate. So 3/4 reciprocated. This is 4/3. So this is B. B is the closest answer. It's actually 1 1/3, but 1.3. Look. There's always be less than any of the resistors. So 6 and 8 out. Madame Curry's work, radioactivity. I don't even need to read anything again, boy. And say less. Madame radioactivity. The scattering experiment conducted by Geiger and Madsen. Some of the alpha particles were deflected. The explanation for this is nuclear charge and mass are concentrated in a small volume in the atom. They could have talked about positive there too. We coming down to the end of the first paper there, yeah? Carbon decays in accordance with the blah 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 going to nitrogen. So this is definitely a beta particle because one of the, you can't see it here, but the mass number remains the same and the proton number went up, which means one of the neutrons changed into a proton and emitted an electron, which is a beta particle. Which are the following are possible symbols for an isotope? I can't really see what's going on here, bro. I don't even know what's happening here. So let me just say this is 1 because it's looking like whatever letter was here is the same letter there. So they're switching the mass number. This cannot happen. Let me say this is the same thing as that. So let me say 1 and 3 now. 1 and 3. B is the answer. I can't really see what happened there, but 1 and 3. So what you want is that the atomic number, the proton number remains the same, right? Alpha particles, beta particles, and gamma rays from a radioactive source are subjected to a transverse magnetic field. Fine. Which of them would not be deviated by the original path, gamma? Gamma ain't want nothing to do with that. Last question. Number of radioactive nuclei present in a sample at time t is n. All right. Which of the following best shows decay? So not this one, not this one, this one. C. That's in here for the graph of radioactive decay. How to be C. All right, tell you 60 questions done. Out of them 60 questions, how much of them 60 questions you understand? How much of them 60 questions you understand? Open 60 out of 60. So we're going to do our next section. We're going to do our next selection here. And the next one, you would see a bunch of repeats happening again. You're going to see a bunch of repeats happening. So we're going to be able to go a little faster. How long we take? We take about 37 minutes. Imagine for the add maths, which is 45 questions, we taking longer than the physics, which is 60 questions. I'll go and finish that physics multiple choice in 20 minutes. Watch and you guys. Express has 2 significant figures. We go on again. Emmanuel, stop asking me where things are by. Somebody talk to Emmanuel now. Emmanuel. In other news, if you're on the Student Hub Discord, students share lots of stuff there. So you go on the Student Hub Discord and you'll be able to get a lot of help. A lot of help, right? The Student Hub Discord, which is absolutely free. Absolutely free, the Student Hub Discord. Right, right, people, right, Summer, right, Emmanuel? I'll talk to him. 3.141592.6 expresses 2 significant figures. So the answer for this one, A. This is 3 figures. This boost it up, this switch the whole value. An example of vector quantity displacement. Displacement is a long-standing member of the vector community. Which of the following instruments is suitable for measuring the diameter of human hair? Micrometer, screw gauge. I mean, you could use all of these, but I think it'll be accurate. 2 forces, what should be the magnitude and direction of the third force, which will cause the object to remain stationary? You need a x plus y and the x plus y to the left. x plus y to the left. Number 5, which of the following is a derived unit? Meters cube. Because how you get a cube there and expect you to get away from with this by? At least try to hide yourself some kind of way now. 10 newtons or something. A block is allowed to fall free towards the ground. As it falls, its gravitational potential energy decreases. It's converted to kinetic energy. Go walk. What is the reading shown? It coming from this way. A lot of people is put 91. Tricks. And it's not even 89 because this is 80. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 88. How many people get tricked with that question? Real people going to get tricked with this kind of question here. So the following, let me just make sure I get tricked. 88, yeah, 88, right? So the following is a unit of momentum. Momentum is a product of mass and velocity. So it's a kind of repeat. Mass and velocity. Velocity is meters per second. Mass is kilograms. B. The kinetic energy of a body, M, and velocity, V, is given by half mv squared or mv squared divided by 2 go walk. A body initially moving at a constant speed is brought to rest at a uniform rate. Brought to rest, C. So constant speed brought to rest at a uniform rate. We just ripping through these first questions, boy. It's just freeness. A 4 kilogram mass is traveling with a constant speed of 5 meters per second. It is brought to rest in 2 seconds. The average force acting on the mass to bring it to rest is all right. So it force is equal to mass by acceleration. What's the fastest way I could figure this out? Right? So if a kilogram mass is traveling at a constant speed of 5 meters per second, is brought to rest in 2 seconds. Acceleration here is 5/2. 5/2, the mass is 4, so this is equal to 4 by 5/2. Into this 2 by 5, 10 newtons. So the answer is C, 10 newtons. An ice cube sinks in liquid A but floats in liquid B. Which of the following statements is true of liquid A and liquid B? An ice cube sinks in liquid A but floats in liquid B. Which of the following is true about liquid A? It sinks in liquid A but floats in liquid B. So liquid B is less dense. The upthrust is less. That's not true. The upthrust is greater. The upthrust is equal. The weight of the ice cube is less. The weight of the ice cube is greater. Okay. So let me go back and examine these. The upthrust is less in liquid A than liquid B. I gotta work with A, boy. So in liquid A, since it sank, the upthrust wasn't able to match the weight of fluid displaced. The upthrust wasn't able to match the weight of the object. The weight of fluid displaced wasn't able to match the weight of the object. Sorry, my bad for confusing it too. So the weight of fluid displaced wasn't able to match the weight of the object. That's why it sank. So A is the answer for that one. A bus with luggage loaded on top is more likely to tip over. Raises the center. The reason for this is the luggage raises the center of gravity. Has a higher center of gravity, right? So the following statements are true about the spring extension. This extension versus force, Hooke's law. So the elastic limit of the spring was exceeded, yeah, because look, it's starting to do wildness. The spring obeyed Hooke's law over its entire extension. The force per unit extension in the elastic region was 7.5. Most likely that's correct because it only had 1 and 3 as options. So the answer is B. 10, yeah, 7.5, yeah, that'll work. Poise measure of rate of change of energy. So poise a rate of change of energy. Two forces, 8 newtons and 10 newtons, cannot give a resultant force of 1. There's no way you could get to do 1. This is actually a high level question, but people are just memorize of the answer. Like, yeah, they think about it now. You can put the 8 and the 10 like this, and you can get 18. You can put it diagonal, and you can get all kind of different resultant force, but it have no way you can make it get 1. Yeah, because it's 8 and 10. So even if you put it opposite to each other, 8 this way, 10 that way, you will still get 2 this way. You understand what I'm saying? There's just no way to get 1 with these soldiers. There's no way to even get 0. So where are we? We are on how we gain 9? How to make it get 9? Well, you can do like 8 this way. 10 this way. And you could probably get like a 9 resultant going that way. At an angle, you could use angles. You could use angles to like get a 9. So X, Y, and Z are 3 billiard balls, pool balls. Y and Z touch each other. X traveling with a velocity of 20 meters per second impinges. I could not say hit by. Assuming that the spheres are perfectly elastic, the result motion after impact will be that. Okay. So it's impossible for them to remain stationary. X and Y remain stationary. Z moves on with a velocity of 20. This could happen. All of them have the same mass? Equal mass, yeah. All move together. 10, no. That's not making sense. X remains stationary, while Y and Z move on together, each with a velocity of 10. B is the answer. So this is an example of Newton's cradle. So once you could look it up. Now this one, the momentum is conserved, but this doesn't happen. This one doesn't happen. So this was a little tricky question. What is the gain in the gravitational potential energy of a body of weight 200 newtons as it rises to the height, to the weight? mgh is potential energy. Oh, no, it only rises 5. Sorry, I had to subtract. So it rose 5, G is 10, M is 20 kilograms, right? So this is what I'm looking for. So I'm looking like I see, going to be the answer here. All right, that's an interesting question. It had lots of things to keep in mind. Which of the following quantities remain unchanged with an increase in temperature? Mass. Volume would change, hence density would change. Relative density. Relative density is that density compared to another density. That get changed too. The mass would not change. The specific heat capacity of a substance is defined as the amount of thermal energy required to, this I repeat, raise the temperature of the substance by 1 Kelvin. As I repeat in a fancy way. The specific latent heat of vaporization of water is this. When 0.01 kilogram of water is converted into steam, it absorbs less. Because this is how much joules per kilogram. So if it was 1, it would absorb that. So it would absorb 1/10, 100 less. So I need to drop by 2. So it converted. A is the answer. A is the answer. It'll absorb less, right? Say it said specific. So you're sure 20 is correct? 20 where? The specific heat. Oh, they said specific. Oh, my bad. Here is the temperature of unit mass of the substance. I just thinking repeat of unit mass. It said specific. My bad, my bad. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, this one is correct. The 2.26 times 10 to the power of 6 joules per kilogram. 0.0.01. So it will be 100 of this, yes. So I just divide by 100. A gas occupies 2 meter cubes at 27 degrees Celsius at a pressure of 1 atmosphere. At a pressure of 2 atmospheres, it occupies a volume of 1 meter. What is the temperature at this new volume? This one has some wicked. So PV over T must be equal to PV over T here. So let me get the P's on one, all the P's on one side. Pressure of 1 atmosphere. Since we use what is the temperature at this new volume and pressure of 2 atmospheres, so we're using the same unit for pressure, so that's okay. That's not going to affect us. But the temperature could pose a problem. So pressure here is 1. Pressure here is 2. Volume here is the gas occupies. Oh, they reverse the idea. See what they do. So gas occupies at 2 meters at the pressure of 2 is 1. So the temperature, this suggests that the temperature should remain the same. What kind of whack experiment is this, boy? How they managed to pull this off? All right, so this suggests that the temperature should remain the same. That's not. Let me think about this. 2 meters, 27 degrees, 1 atmosphere. Increase the pressure. And the volume switch. Okay. So the volume responded. So the temperature must kept constant. So it's 27. Somebody say A, now B is the answer. B is the answer. Which of the following methods is the most suitable means of heating a brass bulb in order to determine its specific heat capacity? By methods of mixture, subjecting it to an open flame for 10 minutes, subjecting it to an infrared beam for 10 minutes, placing it in boiling water bath for 10 minutes, placing it in contact with an electric heater for 10 minutes. You see, all these others kind of leave room for a lot of heat loss. So this is the best one for you to be able to measure it. No, even you could use the others too if you had a more controlled environment and then carry out your method of mixtures. But C is the answer. Hey, pretty motivates. What's up? What's up? According to the kinetic theory, when a gas in a closed container is heated, the pressure rises because there are more molecules hitting the walls of the. No, you don't get more molecules. The molecules move faster and hit each other harder and more often. Okay, that's true, but that is it explaining why there's pressure? The molecules expand and push hard on the walls. The molecules move faster and hit the walls of the container harder and more often. So D is the best answer for this. According to the kinetic theory, when a gas in a closed container is heated, the pressure rises. D is the best answer. All the rest kind of a little weird. So D is the best answer that talks about hitting the walls of the container. What's the difference between B and D? Molecules move faster and hit each other. They're talking about each other here. They're talking about the walls of the container. And pressure is really the force on the walls per unit area. So D is the best answer. Yeah, the molecules themselves are expanding. That's kind of weird to see. Molten naphthalene, so it won't be this. We're looking for a cooling curve. Yes, C is the best one here. You went down, you hit here. latent heat of fusion, and then you come back down again. C. Which of the following is conduction, the main method of energy transfer? Food conduction, food energy, no microwave energy from sun, food being cooked on a barbecue, food being cooked in a pot on an electric stove. D is the best one. The barbecue uses a lot of convection from the coals to the meat and to the grill. This one is conduction, straight out of the electric stove. The surface, if you have an electric stove, I'm not talking about, onto the pot. Which are the following are the reasons why hot liquid placed in a double wall vacuum flask retains its heat for a long time? Silver inner walls reduce the loss by heat. That's true. The silver outer walls help to absorb heat from the surroundings. That just whack. Evacuated space between the double walls reduce the loss of heat by conduction. That's true. So 1 and 3. 1 and 3. A person coming out of the sea would feel cool because the sea is cool. Heat is lost by radiation. Seawater evaporates from the skin. Convection of thermal energy occurs into the air. Best answer is C. The seawater evaporating from your skin creates a cooling effect. But I find like they could have go with a little more than that, but it feel a little bent. It feel like could I talk a little more about it? Because if we are asked, we'd have to talk more about it. The kinetic theory of matter suggests that the molecules of a gas are closely packed and vibrating, closely packed and moving, far apart and vibrating, far apart and moving at random. I mean, everybody's supposed to get that one out. Oi, look, this next question here, boy. This is a question they're asking. They were actually cheering this question, bro. This question is a question. They probably have this question, with this gauze, this picture frame and hang up in CXC main headquarters. Jonesy and the boys, them have this one hang up. Because, oh God, they just ask this question, right? Which is the following statement provide a reason for this occurrence, and the answer is water is a poor conductor of heat. Water is a poor conductor of heat. You don't get this wrong, right? The time next way is ask the same thing. From the information above, unknown. I need to read it. It unknown earlier. Is the next one. They have frame up inside CX. The problem is you have displacement here and you have position there. You understand? Not all liquids are poor conductors, John. Some liquids could conduct. A molten metal is a liquid. So anyhow, so this displacement position, it's impossible for you to find frequency here because time isn't given. You can't find period or frequency. This is the wrong style of graph. The sharp edges of shadows suggest that no, they did give us amplitude. What they didn't give us is the time, Zara. Sharp edges of shadows suggest that light travels in straight lines. An echo is quieter than the original sound. Like Bruce, this shows that compared to the original sound, the echo has a short, smaller amplitude. At some point, XY, no sound is heard because of reflection, refraction, interference of the sound waves. That's what I was looking for. It started reaching to this part where we just zoom in. Area of light leaves 1.6, the angle. Is a repeat? Is this a repeat, ladies and gentlemen? The sign of the angle of, no, they asked it in reverse. They asked it in reverse this time. So a leaving air enter glass. You always need to watch this part to see where they're going from glass to air. Otherwise, you have to think about it in reverse, right? So it's normal. So the refractive index is sin I over sin R. R is 27. And they want sin I. So it's 1.6 by sin 27. It's D again. D again. Which of the following waves travel only longitudinally? Sound. Which of the following can produce a diminished virtual image of a real object? That was a lot of words there, boy. Diminished, so smaller, is virtual, a divergent lens, plane mirror, a glass block. A divergent lens. Divergent lens is the answer. This actually came in the exam, right? The image that you all had to draw, I think you all had to do one with a divergent lens, and I do the solutions, and you can check it out. Total internal reflection in glass occurs when all the light is transmitted. The angle of incidence is 90. Critical angle is exceeded. Incident ray is perpendicular to the blah, blah, blah. I'm just making up things here. A ray of light in air strikes a glass block at the angle of incidence of 0. All entering will be undeviated. If the angle of incidence is 0, it is just goes straight through. And at 90 degrees, no deviation. Position of an image formed by a plane mirror depends on distance of the observer from the mirror, distance of the object from the mirror. Angle at which the image is viewed, angle is the distance of the object from the mirror is the best answer here. Which of the following expressions would represent the formulae for linear magnification? Height of image over height of object. True. Height of, no. Object distance over image distance. No. It's supposed to be image distance over object distance. One only. A. So it's mostly theory questions here, just things. If you don't know, you get a mark. Yeah, if you know, you get a mark. If you don't know, you get no mark. The value of the current I1 at the time T1 is called the peak value. When a polythene rod is rubbed with a cloth, it becomes so polythene. What is happening with polythene, boy? That the one that is getting negatively charged by losing protons, negatively charged by gaining electrons. B. 44. Which of the following diagrams show? By the way, none of the other options was feasible. Which of the following diagrams show the magnetic field formed between a bar magnet and a piece of iron? Leaves the north, enters the south, so C is the best answer. Refers to following circuits with blah blah blah. Oh, wait, I have new friends here. 0.4, 0.6. Resistance, V is equal to IR. No tricks, right? Where the tricks? All right, so 24. D. Whoa. All you get 1.5 with this. I doing something wrong? 0.4. Measure the following circuit. No, what going on with Italy? Oh, shucks. No, V is equal to IR. Why am I multiplying? V is equal to IR. So R would be equal to V. That's V. All right, I might have lost marks here, boy. I might have get 59 in this paper. Shucks. And I know what I'm doing, and I just my mind, I don't know. I'm not. All right, so it's 1.5. Yeah, B. You're correct. So I know I'm finding resistance, but it's like V is equal to IR. Boom, multiply these two. Not forgetting is IR finding. Yeah, boy, Emmanuel, same thing. Don't worry. Even I make mistakes as well. It's be a little scary to make a mistake on YouTube, though. If I ever make a mistake in a video, I always leave a comment afterwards so that I don't accidentally teach anybody the wrong thing. A conductor rotating in a uniform magnetic field induces maximum instantaneous current when the conductor cuts the magnetic field lines at maximum. So you need to cut it at 90 degrees perpendicular, right? Clip man. Clipman spam me the whole season, and I remember it had a YouTube live, boy. I don't know, which is some live. I was real tired, and you know, saying that Clipman was clipping people, and I was just making mistakes, bro. But at the end of the video, there was no mistakes. But like once I was doing the question, I had something wrong and that kind of thing. R1, R2, R3. Zara, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you asking here? What is the combined resistance and parallel? That's the answer they see. I don't need to watch anything else. Say less. A voltmeter has a very high resistance so that it can parallel in not affect the circuit. Okay. Series with a component. No. Parallel with a component and a series. So A, but this is not a reason why it have high resistance. So this is not true, but this is the only good answer here. So this is poor physics, but this is the best answer, right? Whoever make that question and really to understand what's going on now, but series with a component and not affecting circuit parallel with a component. And they will they didn't really understand what's going on. They don't know what voltage and thing is about. The person who make up that question, but is the answer they were to pick. Which of the following graph illustrates an alternating current? Well, alternating, you need to dip now, but you're not dipping, you're not dipping, you not dipping. You need to go below, you dipping. So you gotta walk. D. You need to have two directions. So the following circuit arrangement is best suited for measuring lamp's voltage. We need the voltage around the lamp. So let me put him here. So just by the lamp. If we do this, you might end up getting the voltage at the resistor as well. So C is the answer. Last one was D. So which of the following circuit diagrams best represent a series arrangement? B. This have a parallel here, this have a parallel here, this have a parallel here. So B is the answer for that one. Oh, logic gates, what is the output at C and D when an input of 0, 0 is made at A and B? C, what's the output at C and D when an input of 0, 0 is made? Well, I don't already know it's A because it's 0 now, boy. 0, 0, 0, 0. And gate means both need to be 1 to give a 1. So since it's two zeros, it's a 0. OR gate means anyone needs to be 1 to give a 1. So since it's two zeros, it's 0. So A is the answer. That one didn't even require any set of thinking, boy. They're starting to come weak with the questions. That's we now, boy. I hope they give you something that challenge you a little bit. You know what is kind of easy thing? You know what is easy thing? Using the information given in the circuit diagram, which pair of values of I1 and I2 is correct? Well, more current will flow here than here, right? And I need to add up to 6. So more in I1. So who are more in I1 by? D. You do that one time. So 4 and 2. No, because if it's challenging for you, that means it's challenging for everybody else. So your grade will be, which of the following materials is most suitable for the core? What kind of repeating thing is this, boy? According to the Rutherford Bohr model of a neutral stable atom, if N is equal to neutrons, protons, E is the number of electrons in the atom, then for all protons, what? For stable and neutral, so protons must be equal to electrons. Fine. Protons is equal to electrons. Which are the following symbols possible isotopes? Hey, look, we're getting to see the question properly here. So, oh no, they are different one. If it's an isotope, Z must remain the same. So D could be an isotope. All the other ones messing up my Z now, boy. Which of the following cannot be deflected by a magnetic field? Gamma rays, as I repeat. Which of the following pair of statements is true for both iron and steel? easily magnetized, retain its magnetism. Well, B is good. Yeah, B is good. Which are the following? Radium, solar game, curry her flowers. Which of the following equations is correct? All right, let's go down and check what happening here. That's not on my screen doing the blackout thing. All right. So you lost two. You lost two, brother man. So you're supposed to be alpha. You're going up one. So yeah, this one looking good. He looking nice and solid. Some of these questions make me feel empty inside. And it's too easy. Like, what is this? Come on, man. Challenge us. Let me see what's going on here. Wait. This one, wait. We have a problem here. Watch that 15. That one going up. They have it going up here. And then they give off an alpha particle. So the best one is C. Best one is C. Best one is C. Only you have to watch this one carefully. They hear me out, boy. They hear me now. They hear me now. This one actually went up in mass number. It's supposed to remain 14 for this to be true. This one, well done, pretty. This one is an alpha particle. So it lost 4 and it lost 2. 2 plus 2. All right, Talia, we're going to hit them. You don't think that the reason why you feeling empty inside, you're going to hit them next one. After the next one, you should be in a good place in life. So let me mash it up. So we're watching the bottom of the meniscus, looking like 7.5. Wait. I forget to take the ratings. Out of the last paper. Last paper, I get better. We saw some repeats. We saw a lot of repeated ideas. Out of 60, how much of them questions you understand? 60 out of 60. Given that the force is mass by acceleration, the unit of force could be written by, okay, this is a repeat mass. No, mass by acceleration. Acceleration is meters per second squared. So we want, where boy? We want him here. Out of 50, at 58, at 59. Well, let me see if we can mash up this last paper and bust out kilograms meters per second squared. That looking good day. X plus y to the left. This is a repeat. I want it to be stationary. If you all say repeat, please read it carefully. Eh? So just now I was reading a repeat just now and I didn't want something. What was the question? I didn't want something and it caused me to something I didn't want stationary or something just now. So watch out for repeat. Repeats could make you lose marks if they change up the words and things. Like they might say which is the equivalent. Then you'll have to say x plus y to the right. So watch out for repeats. As you see, they could repeat it and change it up a little bit. A diving ball is to be used at great depths. And so it was, I think, the main reason for this is water pressure increases with depth. Yeah. Colder, thin vessel. They don't want a Titanic situation to happen, and then people was visiting the Titanic. So the following statements about the object are true. Is a velocity time graph. It returns its starting point as not true. It has zero acceleration between times t1 and t3. That's also not true. It returns its starting point. It has zero acceleration between t2 and t3. T2 and t3, yes, it's constant speed. So this is true. Its velocity at t4 is the same as its initial velocity. Yes. So 2 and 3. 2 and 3. So initially, I thought it's like between here and here, and I was like, this is acceleration, but it's T2 and T3. So C is the answer. Let me keep running. Hey, big man like Josh reaching, boy. The unit for momentum. Momentum is a product of mass and velocity. So we want this one. That's a repeat. 4 kilogram mass is traveling to constant speed is brought to rest. I think we got 10 for this last time. Was it 10 we got for this? That's a repeat. We just do that. All right, there's a moments question. It shows the uniform bar, blah, 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 pivot, weight. The pivot is over here. Force here, force there. The sum of the clockwise moments. Oh, we want to make them go clockwise. U in a clockwise direction and U in a clockwise direction. So F2D2 and F1D1. D. like the clockwisers day. The pressure due to the water is greatest in Q. That's the greatest depth. A piece of string is tied onto a small stone and any stone is totally immersed. The tension in the string will be equal to the weight of the stone. No. Less than the weight of the stone. More than the weight of the stone. Less than the weight of the stone. I'm going too fast. Oh yeah, this is the last one we're doing, and I was doing the first one I went a little slower. The second one I speed it up, and the third one is normally zip. So the following properties remain unchanged. Mass, repeat. When a ball is thrown vertically upward and reaches its maximum height, it has its maximum potential and minimum kinetic. That's a big repeat too. That's always come. The time period of a simple pendulum oscillating in a small amplitude depends on the length of the pendulum. And this is a repeated idea. You only change the length to affect the period. Based on the graph above, which of the following statements would be true? This is a repeat. True. True. So 1 and 3 was the answer. B. Which of the following is a SI base unit, not SI. Not SI, not SI. Amperes, SI. Which of the following implements are designed to take advantage of a large, this is a repeated thing, a large moment provided by a relatively small force. 1 and 2, not the tweezers. I mentioned this when you was doing the full physics revision for those of y'all who were there. Answer is A for this one. And this is our first. Let's call them again by the first, second, third lever. G's and H's, the word jump on my mind. This one, the pivot is in between the force and the load. There are no attractive forces between the molecules in a gas. I mean, it might have some minute attractive forces every now and then. Which are the following statements about the pressure law are true? Pressure law, pressure is not constant. Volume is constant. Ratio of pressure to Kelvin temperature is ratio of pressure to Kelvin temperature is constant. So 1 and 2. 1 and 2 only. A. The energy required to change the state of the substance was determined to be EH. If the mass of the substance is double the value of, what is this? I'll leave out some things. Okay. Which are the following ranges of temperature is most suitable for, this is a big repeat. The specific latent of vaporization is the energy required to change 1 kilogram of water at vaporization. So 100 degrees, need to keep it constant. C is the answer for that one. So let me come back to this. What are they talking about here, right? The energy required to change the state of a substance was the, and read the question properly. So this is the energy. If the mass of the substance is double, the value of EH will also be doubled. Only thing is the mass. So C is the answer there. That question was kind of useless. A metal of mass M requires energy E to raise its temperature from T1 to T2. Specific heat capacity. So E is equal to MC change in temperature. And what they want, there was C. So C is equal to the energy over the M by the change in temperature. So who have this? C. Oh, they have it back to front here. Which one is the first one? From T1 to T2? T1 to T2, so it should be T2 minus T1. D is the answer. So it's not C, they added back to front. So watch out for that. Which of the following materials is both Good absorber and good emitter. Thermal, flat polished metal plate. Polished convex flat metal plate painted back. From the polish here throwing you off. Convex and concave, what you're doing all of that for? Flat is painted black is the best thing. Good absorb, good emitter. The specific latent heat of the evaporation, we do this one already, it will go down by 2. So we got absorbs, we got A, which are the default, this is a big repeat. Which of the following diagrams best illustrates convection current in a liquid? This looking good to me? Or not? Cancel that. This one looking better, yeah. This one looking better. So we're going like this. Yeah. D looking better. Now is go up from the center and come down on the sides. B looking better, sorry. So I would be more happy if that put the arrow like this. But still, B is still better than A. All right, so 26, biggest repeat known to man. Ollie, tell me if Ollie get this question, right? I know I'm telling you, tell me if Ollie get this question. Water is a poor conductor if they mix it up this time. That's the only thing they're doing with this question. Two types of restaurant. Let me make sure it was that they actually following is a good reason. Blah blah blah. The ice don't melt. Yeah, water is a poor conductor. Two types of radiation, L and R, fall on a woman's left and right hands respectively. Her left hand feels hot but does not become tanned. Her right hand does not feel hot but eventually becomes tanned. So is the UV responsible for the tan and the infrared responsible for the heat? So D. This one is do the tanning and this one is do the burning. Now you know. So a student carries out an experiment to determine the specific heat capacity. Wait, now they didn't just ask you this using the electrical method. So the following equation should be used. So energy is equal to power is equal to IV, energy is equal to IVT. So what the energy on top divided by the mass by the change in, all right, they have theta as the temperature. So the answer is C for this one, right? Did we just do this? The only difference is that they switch energy to E and they switch the T2 minus T1 to delta theta. Refers to displacement, blah, blah, blah. The wavelength of the wave is Q to P to S then. P to S. Crest to crest. Or you could say Q to that or trough to trough. But they don't have those in there. Which of the following equations expresses the correct relationship between the wavelength, speed, frequency? V is equal to F lambda. So who have this? F is equal to V over A. Lambda is FV, lambda is F over V. F is equal to V over lambda. A. Wave speed is frequency by wavelength. And known as the wave equation. So you have an object here, you have the plane mirror there, and they're trying to figure out what is the image. B. Image could be like this. So, right? B. So if this is the wavelength, the distance between C1 and R2. C1 and R2. So think of this like a crest, trough, crest, trough, like 1.5 wavelength. 1.5. Understand? So it came up to the top, it went down to the bottom, it came up to the top, and it on its way down to the bottom. So this is a whole wavelength here. And this is half. It didn't reach back up to the top yet. So 1.5. Which of the following diagrams illustrate the laws of reflection? A. A looking good. A. A is the answer. Which of the following properties is true of both light waves and sound waves? As so now light waves and sound wave, what is true? They may be transmitted, they undergo refraction. Yeah, all waves undergo refraction. So this one, these don't have the correct angles. This one going through the glass, both direct. They were just wilding off in this question. The amplitude of the wave is 4. Whole peak, the peak is 8, so the amplitude will have to be 4. The refractive index of a transparent medium with a critical angle C. So refractive index is 1 over sine C, or sine 90 is the same as 1 over sine C. So B will also work. So this is a big repeat as well. So please memorize this. An explosion causes the emission of the following types of waves: light, sound, and infrared. Which of these will be received first? Light and infrared. Both of them travel at the same speed. 1 and 3. The note from a drum is louder when it's struck harder because the sound waves produce greater amplitude. Amplitude controls volume. Which line lies along the principal axis of the converging lens? GK. PQ is the optical axis. RS, I don't know, that's on the focal. WY, I just a line. Maybe to going through the optical center. So 39 is A. 41, 40. Rectification is diode. Say less. I don't need to say anything again. Rectification, diode, right? Boom. Hey, you could use a capacitor along with a diode, but you can't use the capacitor alone. Which of the following circuits is electrically the same? So it's a series circuit. This is parallel, parallel. This is series. This is a parallel. So C is good for this one. 41. Most of these is repeats for. Like if we do 2 more papers, every question we're going to answer to be like repeated ideas. Given the following truth table, but this is the third one I'm on today. Given the following truth table with inputs A and B and output C, which logic gate does it describe? This is looking like a NAND. This is looking like the opposite of an AND. So our AND gate is B0001. Only gives an output of 1 when both ones are present in the input. So NAND reverses that. So that's a NAND. Which of the following equations cannot be used to determine the power dissipated in a resistor? This one. So it look like this one. Let me double check. I could. So P is equal to IV, but V is equal to IR. So if I substitute for V, yeah, this is good actually. If I substitute for V, I get I squared R. If I substitute for I get V over R, I get V squared over R. So C is the answer. C is the answer, my guys. So C is wrong. This is good. So we're using these 2 equations to form one equation. Well, this equation is here, so this one is good. If I substitute for I will get V over R. Like I is equal to V over R, right? So if I substitute for I will get V meeting the next V here. So I get V squared over R. So this is good. And if I substitute for V itself in this equation, I will get I by IR. So I squared R. So A is also good. So C is the answer. All right, let me speed back up. Magnetic induction occurs when a north pole attracts the south pole. Iron nails near magnet become magnetized. A magnet is suspended and points in the north. An electroscope is charged. This is static B. So induction needs to happen on something that was not previously magnetized. So in this case, these 2 were already magnetized. In this case, this is just the magnet lining up with the Earth's natural magnetic field. And electroscope, that's static electricity. That's electrostatics. Which are the following? Fuse, B is a fuse. So what do you think, boy? Are you going to be able to mash up the exam at top speed? Which are the following current time graphs best represents a DC? This looking like DC, not all of these dipped. You understand? They went in the opposite direction. So A is the answer. So the following, oh my gosh. Biggest R on this for the day. This is the question of the day. We're getting all three selections. An ammeter has a very low resistance so that it can be placed. This is the question that we do like. Series with a component and not affect the circuit. Series with a component and not heat up. Series with a component. Series with a component and not affect the circuit. So B is the answer here. But that is not why an ammeter has low resistance. The ammeter have near zero resistance so that it can measure all the current that's passing through it. So an ideal transformer has if it had a resistance, some of the current will deflect elsewhere, would not pass through it. An ideal transformer has a primary to secondary turns ratio 1:3 and alternating potential difference of 2. Hold on. I hope the last question didn't have direct potential difference. No, because they didn't have an answer for that. Like if they ever do any trick with the transformer and they use direct current, it would not work. Transformers must work with alternating. All right, so it's 200 volts. On the primary side, do we need to do some calculations for this? Let me prepare for the worst. So we have 200 volts here is 1:3. This is 200 volts on the primary side. And the resistance is 200. So you have 200 resistance here. What is the current in the secondary coil? So 200, it's 1:3. Secondary turns has a primary to secondary. So you expect 600 voltage here. V is equal to IR. So I is equal to V over R. So you expect 600 divided by 200. You expect 3. Very good. Well done, class. I feel all ready, you know. Better they bring the exam tomorrow. Call all out on a Sunday. Which are the following symbols? The AND gate. Well, this is our AND gate here. 3 marks. This is a NAND. This is a OR. This is a NOT. Which of the current? What is the current through R1 if the current through R2? Wait. Let me read the whole question. 6, 4. All right, that's all. They didn't tell you the current in the mean. Okay, fine. So it had to be less. If this is 1.8 going through less resistance, more resistance will have less current. So I know it's none of B, C, or D. It has to be A. It has to be the one with less current. So it's 1.6 here. Fine. And it must be in a ratio for the 4 to 6 as well. Which device allows one circuit to switch another a relay? I'll get this in the paper 2. This is paper 2. And you have to describe this for like 7 marks or something. How is the description for that? Which of the following describes 2 properties of an alpha particle? Wait, I leave something else. 53. Did I leave out 53? All right. What appropriate labels? So the device W and input X. So this is a step up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So definitely step up. And input must always be AC and step up. So C. Not too good with that question. That relay question. I know that relay question beats some people. Which of the following describes 2 properties of an alpha particle? No, it has a big charge. It has a positive charge. Very penetrating. No, positive charge, not very penetrating. So, very ionizing. Alpha particle, helium nuclei. 2. Positive is the charge. And because it's so big, it's not very penetrating, but it's very ionized. Still dangerous. Half-life is defined as the time it takes half of the radioactive atoms in a sample to decay. Kinda. No. Half the time it takes a radioactive nucleus to decay. No. Half the lifetime, no. So A is the best answer here. We coming down to our close. The half-life of the radioactive substance is approximately, all right, from 400 to 200, 2 days. 200 to 100, 2 days. 300 to 150, 2 days again, from 1 to 3. So 2 days, approximately 2 days. The nuclide, I forget how to pronounce this word. There's this thorium, contains 90 protons. See, I don't need to do any maths. I didn't even need to subtract. All the rest of things just not making no sense. So you see, up to now we didn't touch the calculator, except for the one that I had to divide. But you could do that mentally too. Which of the that's in the first paper that we do. Which of the following statements about radioactive decay are correct, dependent on conditions external to the nucleus? It is a random process. This is true. It is due to change is in the nuclide of atoms. This is true. It is dependent on conditions external to the nucleus. That's not true now. 1 and 3 can be true at the same time. So the answer is 2 and 3, which is C. Understand? This and this can be true at the same time. Which of the following statements about a proton is not true? It is a hydrogen atom minus an electron. It is the same mass as that of, that's not true. It is the mass about 2,000 times. It is as a charge equaling, right? So B. And last one, an isotope of uranium changes to whatever that is. You went down by 2 and you lost 4, so that is alpha decay. Just like that. So what do you think about this one? So how long we live, boy? Hour and 36 minutes we live. In 1 hour and 36 minutes, which is nearly the time to do one paper one, we do 3. I to tell you the level of easiness in the physics paper ones. Or they just keep practicing as many paper ones as you can. Keep practicing as many paper ones as you can. Go through them, verify, answer. I may try to come back online again and hit a little more. Maybe I could do an next 2 or 3. Seeing as my boy spotted that it have 378 pages here. So we know on page 42. Yeah, maths take a little time, but I hope you all watched me live from yesterday. You saw that how I use the calculator to mash up a lot of questions in the maths. So most likely tomorrow, please God, I will come back and do some maths. I'll try to do some maths tomorrow. Definitely on Monday I will do some maths if there's anything. I know tomorrow if I do maths, people will be like, "Oh God, we have physics in the morning and whatever anymore." What do you have on Monday? On Monday I have something on Monday. I'm gonna be correlating for. So if I come back, I might do what it have on Monday and on Sunday. All right. So you all don't get too overconfident with the physics. Go and practice some more. Love and blessings. Hold it down. Press like on the stream. Subscribe. Do what you're supposed to do. Maybe I could try to do some chem tomorrow. I wonder if my chem teacher up for that.